Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Overwatch Ultimates Reinhardt from Hasbro. And yes, this guy retails for $49.99 at GameStop, but they had a sale going on. I got him for half off because that's all I feel like I would want to invest into one figure like this. But the box looks awesome. The artwork looks great on the box. Left side of the box says Tank or Tanku. Right side of the box, in case you didn't know who the character was, it's obviously Reinhardt with his little logo there. Top of the packaging has the Overwatch logo. And then on the back, we do have that same image of Reinhardt. It's still awesome artwork. Blizzard artists are insane. It does say Tank Tanku, gives all his information, where he's from, and his age and everything. He's 61 years old. He's a beast. And then down there you can see his abilities. And then you got his wave mates, Tracer, Lucio, Reaper. And I'm upset that why would they release that version of Reaper before the original, it was crazy. And then Sombra. This figure is huge. He is a big, beefy figure and looks pretty awesome out of the package. He comes with a decent amount of accessories. I'm just going to get the big one out of the way. He comes with his deployable shield, and this thing, I mean, it's like it's a full-on like serving tray. Like you can serve a meal on this thing because of how big this thing is. I mean, it basically will protect him plus everybody else. Very cool look, and this is probably where the cost came from too. Is like this is just a good amount of plastic. This is a hard piece of plastic. Very nice. Captures his ability very well, the effects and everything. It looks pretty cool. Since that shield is a giant hunk of plastic, we do get some stands for it to help it stand up and help keep balance. He also comes with his shield that goes onto the arm that ability projects out of, and it's pretty beastly looking. It looks like a lion, could be a wolf. It's most likely a lion, but it still looks awesome. The yellow's pretty good. And a lot of this is just casted in full silver plastic. The paint they did added looks very nice, and I like the fact that the red is a little bit scuffed up because, you know, he is fighting people, so it shouldn't be super clean and perfect. Again, another nice chunk of heavy plastic. Speaking of heavy plastic, this hammer is heavy. These are solid chunks right here. This part is basically a straw. It's just a tube. You can sort of feel it, and it makes me unsure of like eventually will it weaken and bend in the middle. But look at this hammer. Sculpt work is there. Even added paint to it. The damage is there. Looks pretty awesome. The little thrusters. I wish they would have gave us thruster effects for the back, when he's using his ability. Could add a little bit more paint to the front there too. If you can see like the whole damage and stuff, it would have been cool to have like a little different tone around it, make the damage pop. But this thing is amazing. It's basically like an airplane jet thing, just like it's awesome. Reinhardt was one of my favorite characters to play as in Overwatch 2. We do get this chunk of metal down here. It's not real metal obviously, but the piece at the bottom, and it looks nice. It's marbleized in that silver plastic. It gives that appeal to the giant hammer. I really wish they would have made this solid, but I guess the tube, honestly, in hand, even though I can tell it's a tube, it does feel like it would hold its form. In case you guys ever picked up the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure, like his weapon was a solid piece, but it wasn't hard plastic, so things started drooping and everything. So maybe this is a better call on Hasbro's side because of the weight, because this thing is heavy. It's heavier than some of the figures I've actually reviewed. Now to look at this beefy figure in hand, and he is pretty awesome. His visor up at the top has a little excess yellow on there, but I'm okay with it. I can always fine tune it, try to scrape it off there or remove it. But the paint and the decals are pretty clean on him. Like, this guy doesn't have much paint, but where it is, it's pretty clean. Like all his numbers, the red parts, the dark gray, because he's casted in that silver plastic. His entire body is. You got the little thruster, yellow on the back. I mean, it gets a pass with this guy because, I mean, what other colors would you need him in unless it was alternate skin that you unlocked? But the dude's huge. It's a very, very big figure. Lots of sculpt work to it. Like, for them casting it in one type of plastic, it works. And especially when it's supposed to be representing a guy in a giant, futuristic, medieval power armor. Especially a 60-year-old guy. Like, this thing looks nice. Very nice. Now let's dive into articulation. His head can look left and right. Can look up and down a little bit. Not anything crazy, but enough that you'd want with this guy. His arms are very impressive because the actual pauldrons shift out of way, so you get really good range of motion when it comes to his arms. And it does have the ball right there. He has a bicep swivel, I do believe, up there as well. Yes, bicep swivel. He's got the single jointed elbow. Gets very good angle. Wrist rotation, and there's a wrist bend in there. Let's see if I can get it. And then it brings out his little dew claw right there. And then he has one at the bottom. So articulation, that's a weird design choice by Hasbro. But the fact that you can get this guy up and be this ginormous, it looks awesome. Like, he feels good when it comes to moving him around. And then he even has this upper diaphragm, full basically rotation. Almost rotation. It stops at the spine, but lots of movement you'd get out of that. I don't think he can, not much leaning back and forth, but he gets the side motion. His legs, I don't think we're getting any. No, we're not going to have any Van Damme because these are hitting. So no Van Damme splits. He does have a penis flap. Don't know why that was there. I guess it was getting in the way of the legs, but his leg can go up that far. He's got double jointed knees. So you got the one joint. I don't even know if you can. Yeah, there you go. So you can get them all weird. That's nasty. Jeez, his joints on his knees are very good. And then he does have, ankle bend and crazy pivot. His feet almost seem very like loose, but they're not. They're just easy to move. But I'm surprised that we can't get more splits out of him. But I mean, he's Reinhardt. He's not going to be doing the splits. He's not Spider-Man. How far can he kick back? Kicks back that far. Just sort of angles out to the side. Just really wish he would kick up a little bit higher, but his articulation, though, is pretty on point for such a big figure. He holds the hammer quite well, and you can just rotate it however you want it sort of positioned, but very nicely two-handed held hammer. And then you can also take his shield. You plug that right there. So you can have his shield going on as well. Looking great. I mean, it's Reinhardt, and it's a figure I've been eyeballing for a while. Just that $50 price point just wasn't hitting home for me. And I just like the fact that you can, all this extra posability out of him, and his armor doesn't hinder him. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. You can't mess with Reinhardt. Look at that shield. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? I love how the crest fits over that, so you can definitely see it's projecting out of that little shield he had on, and he holds it quite well. I'm not really seeing a reason to have those stands attached as he balances with it quite well. His ankles, though, where the bends are, a little bit could give a little bit because they are a little bit loose, as you can see. I just held onto his leg and the weight sort of pulled him. So stands might come in handy, but it's all about that balance when you're coming into posing the figs and everything like that. But it is pretty awesome. I wish you could get a little bit more, waist rotation, angle him a little bit better, because it just doesn't, he's limited on where he can angle this shield for protection and stuff like that. But still a really cool piece that covers the figure and even has room for other figures to stand behind and protect them. This Reinhardt is sick. I love it. He was a character I started with in Overwatch, still play to this day. And honestly, out of all the figures that they're releasing, like, this was a must-have for me. It may be my only Overwatch figure I get, I'm not too sure, but definitely for that $25 value, I could not pass him up, because I was very teetering on that $50. I just couldn't bite it. But for $25, I pounced. Now, size comparison, here he is next to Marvel Legends Pizza Spidey. He towers over him quite well, and this is sort of a taller figure as well, like a lanky, skinny figure. But I wanted everybody to see, because a lot of people are saying, oh, well, this is just a Build-A-Figure, you shouldn't be $50. Well, here he is next to Caliban. Caliban has pretty much the same height, might be a little bit taller. Let's see the back-to-back. Yeah, I mean, just how I have Reinhardt angled, they're pretty much close to the same height. He might be a little bit taller, but overall girth and everything else in Reinhardt compared to Caliban definitely trumps him when it comes to just girthy meatiness. But I just wanted to do a side-by-side, because I know a lot of people couldn't even justify the $50 price point, because they thought that it was basically just getting a Build-A-Figure. Height-wise, yeah, but that's because that's how Reinhardt's designed. But I would like to have seen him probably this big, like maybe quite, because he's ginormous when it comes to the Overwatch scale. Not really comparing to Marvel Legends, but he is smaller than he should be if they were scaling everything accurately to Overwatch scale. And that sums up my unboxing and review of Overwatch Reinhardt figure. That is a GameStop exclusive, and this figure is awesome. Definitely worth $25. $50, you get sort of your money's worth, but I still feel like it's not worth that $50 price point. But the figure is phenomenal and holds his hammer. He can hold it poses for the size of the figure. I'm not disappointed for the investment that I invested into this figure. So if you guys like what you saw, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to my channel, as I'm always pumping out different types of reviews. And I want you guys to hit that bell notification so you know when I post up a video, in case you care about that. So it allows you to know when it's fresh on YouTube. But also make sure you guys check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. The website's down below. Check it out. If you see something you like, there's a promo code to get free shipping. Plus, you got 2 Facebook groups. You got the community, interact with your fellow nerd, talk figures, trade figures, just really have a good time with that group. Then you have the pre-order group, which keeps you in the know with what's coming out. Plus, Toyco stomps the competition when it comes to pre-order pricing. I've yet to see anybody beat their pricing, especially when you get the shipping directly to your doorstep included with the pre-order quote. So definitely check out that group as well. And if you guys want to, I'm part of the Plastic Cannibals group. Well, that's technically my group that I created for a nice, close, tight-knit family of collectors that will look out for one another, talk figures, trade figures, and, we're sort of scattered around the country because sometimes one side of the country gets figures over the other, and we try to look out for one another. So you answer the 3 questions to get in Plastic Cannibals, and then once you're in, we can talk figures, trade figures, show off your collection, just really have a good time with like-minded collectors. So definitely check out all those groups I just mentioned, the website as well, because I just don't say it just to say it. They're awesome. So check them out and make sure that you guys have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting. Have a beautiful day.